I do not want to make a huge mess. So, okay. First increment of 30 seconds is going in. And pro tip, you want to be mixing. You want to be mixing your mixture after every 30 seconds. So again, three increments of 30 seconds is what you're gonna want. We're just gonna start a little goal for the live. We have 3 heart me's. Appreciate you guys in advance for extra heart me's. Thank you so much, Chrissy.
The time playing video games back up. Okay. Advice: stop him or let. No. My son. So I should clarify. My son is autistic. He's 17, but mentally he's younger, and we learned to get him to concentrate on things was video games. I remember the first time I let him play a video game, it was like he became a different person, and he has problems with his speech, and his brain moves too fast for his mouth, so a lot of times he spits out gibberish. We're like, what? Slow down, think about what you're saying, and spit it out. Like if you say, like, repeat after me, I'm going to the store. He can repeat all those words. Now I say, I'm going to the store. And then he'll be like, oh, like that episode of Friends with Joey learning French. Oh, it's all right, JK. So yeah, but I listen to him. I could hear him through the wall. Like he'd be online talking to his online friends. He doesn't like hanging out with real people. He'll talk to his online friends and he'll say things clear. And I'm like, how the fuck are you going to talk to them clear online, but you can't talk to me clear? Okay, Jess. No, it's his thing. You know, he does his schoolwork, he does his chores, he does that kind of stuff. And when he's not doing that, he can play his games. That's all, right? My God's on It's 2 video games is his outlet. Yeah. You got to remember, guys, with all due respect, older people get that mentality passed down, you know, like our parents did, right? And then you learned there's a lot of skills in playing video games that you can learn. Our parents, you know, all those wives' tales. The video games will rot your brain and sit too close to the TV and, like, you know, all those things our parents made up. And then after, I swear, okay, the millennial generation, I'll put X on top of that. I'm actually very disappointed I'm not in the X category because I was born in 82. I just missed.
You know what I mean? That's the internet. That's what you have to deal with when you make mistakes online, is people always reminding you.
Millennials are closer to Zs. I was like, get the fuck out of here. You know what I mean? Yes, Jess. And so I feel more like an X. You know, you see those memes, oh, Gen X remembers this. I remember all that shit. I was there. Me and my older...
In England and Wales.
Destroy.
I'm responsible.
And when it finally does, and your thyroid gland turns into scar tissue, now we can give you levothyroxine. And still they won't address the conversion of thyroxine to triiodothyronine and or consider things like reverse T3, which if it's high will drive down thyroid function, which will make you feel like crap. It'll drive down thyroid utilization. What about the tissues? The tissues and cells have to accept thyroid hormone. You need cofactors, you need blood sugar stabilization, you need gut integrity to have all of that happen. You have to have cofactors to make T4 into T3. How many of you have never heard of any of those things, or at least one of those things that I just said? Do a thumbs up if you're kind of like, wow, I didn't know that. Juniper, I just gave you, I think, a half dozen things that are directly considered when thyroid hormones aren't going the way you want them to. and they'll address one: TSH and levothyroxine. And if you're lucky, liothyronine or Cytomel. And it stops there. Is hyperthyroid curable? Autoimmune disease isn't curable. Autoimmune disease is a
person who
I need to sell 100,000. I need that. And if you're not
to the state to the stated standards of the space by which you are inhabiting. Thank you so much for having that reading with me, dear. And if this message connected to you as well, it's very common for those who need these messages to be here to receive them.
I literally say it on the phone.
If you would like to get on the list, we've got 4 spots available before the list will be closed. It is 3 cards for a donation of $29 or more. 4 cards for a donation of $23 or more for my subscribers, links in my bio. Please keep in mind there are 2 things I do not read for across these apps, pregnancy and medical. Happy to give insight on anything in private reading.
From that way.
Yes, wine. They're much rather show up. Yes, honey. And if they show up, they
Right, guys, everybody through the triples. Everybody in love, go put your hands up. If you're in love, put your hands up.
Off of my husband.
It's more so that. It's more so like, I don't know how, like, I just really don't think, I think it's dangerous to put a country above, like, Christianity, like, because Christianity.
Just a little. Put your hand up.
Really? Because that looks pretty perfect.
It's right there. But when you start going to those big ones, community.
God has brought some folks in here. Maybe he brought you guys in here.
But this
Together.
the girls.
Accusing an immigrant of unaliving that Ukrainian girl.
And the crazy shit is, as he just said, it's not that we don't like Mexicans. Are Mexicans the only undocumented here? So
No,
why did you have to specify Mexicans?
Anybody want to drop? Hey, take a negative box. Somebody that wants to debate. Somebody wants to debate 45 in the comments is asking me to bring them up. I need a box.
Oh,
thank you.
You know what? Take me down and give it to them.
Sophie.
Okay.
Okay, I'll drop you while you get your
policy. A policy is a position held by an administration. So the position held on immigration is definitely a policy.
Okay, one
of the Trump administration.
movie guy wants to come up. Bring up movie.
Misty Black VZW dice, sí cierto.
Once you stop.
Oh my. Oh my. Deme un sonho de venir e dar.
About you need. Not sure what you mean in.
So we got this older Motorola smartphone right here, guys. If you're just dropping in and welcome to the live. We are urban mining for gold and silver from Everyday Electronics. Any smart device, anything that sends or receives a signal, takes batteries, recharges, plugs in, has a screen, will have gold and can have silver. And yes, you can get it out. And no, it's not that hard. And no, the chemicals are not that expensive. And yes, you can buy them at your local hardware store. So, Brian with the heartbeat, that's what I'm talking about, buddy. Thank you for the heartbeat. So, we'll get this thing popped open, and let's see what we got going on right here. Now, I got to remove, I do not know where the screws are. So, smartphones are not my favorite, but I still like them because they got all kind of chips and other devices on here. I prefer keypad phones. But we'll get this popped off right here. I'm sure you're buying a lot of chemicals. I'm sure I'm not. Listen, the chemicals, you ain't got to have a pile of chemicals. So, I'll tell you what, is there anybody new here who just dropped in that had no clue there was gold or silver in Everyday Electronics? You had no clue that you could turn everyday trash into cash and get your own gold nugget, get your own silver nugget. Let me know if you're new here. I may have some super important information for you. And I see we got a few people in here. But listen, here's the thing. The chemical, you don't need a lot. This 6 grams of gold only cost about $7 worth of chemicals. And you know what? The best part is it's on my page. You can go check it out. Now, if you're new here and you're thinking about maybe recycling your broke TV, your broke cell phone, you want to turn your own trash into cash. Here's the problem you have. If you want to do this, you got one giant problem, right? I know you do, because I had this same problem when I started out. The problem is when you look at this, when you look at the board, you have no clue what you're looking at, right? You're like Southern Scrapper. How do you expect me to turn my trash into cash and get my own gold nugget, get my own silver nugget, if I don't even know where the gold is on the board, right? Right. Well, this is how I expect you to do it, because I got you. Now, before I give you this super, super important information, I do ask for a follow. So once you hit that follow button, roll over to my page. On my page, you'll see me taking apart various electronics, such as tablets, TVs, hard drives, cell phones, and laptops, of course. In each one of those videos, I point to the components and I name the components so you can learn the name of the components and if they have gold, silver, or other precious metals. You guys got to know that stuff. And listen, here's an example. 32.5 grams of gold from mostly free e-waste that people said that it wasn't worth it. They said the chemicals cost too much, or they said there wasn't no gold in electronics. So 32.5 grams, and it only cost about $60 in chemicals for over $5,000 in gold. So absolutely anybody can do this stuff. The chemicals are not that expensive, and people throw this stuff away all the time. Throw it in trash. Now, y'all bear with me, let me recharge. So let's get this thing popped open. Let's see what we got going on right here. Quite a beautiful board right here. And then here we are. Here's these beautiful ribbon wires I was telling you guys about. More ribbon wires. We love this stuff. Here's the thing also. Get your razor blade. Hidden gold on these ribbons. Watch this. Scratch this. And there we are, beautiful gold right here under that. So that doesn't matter, you ain't got to do that, but here's what we're going to do with it. So we'll pop this off, and here's the next thing, guys. Like I say, I haven't talked about it in a minute. So where we at on them likes? Trying to get to 200,000 likes. That's the goal of the live. If you guys can make that happen, that would be amazing. Everything I do here is absolutely free. The only thing I do ask for, and I'm sorry if this does sound selfish, I do ask for a like and a follow in return. So if y'all could do both of those, that would be amazing. So here we got right here, beautiful gold on the board. Listen, all the gold you see with your eyes is only gold plated, but gold plate is absolutely okay, everyone. Don't let nobody tell you that gold plating is not gold. Don't let them tell you that this ain't worth nothing, because it absolutely is. Now, you're not going to get rich off one ribbon wire or whatever, but you save up. You put your ribbons in your ribbon pile, just like this. Now, I got to clean this up and get them pins off before I put it in here. But make sure you guys are following for this video drop. That's what this bag's for, to show you how to remove the gold off of that and get you a gold nugget out of it. Now, we're going to remove this screen. I'm done with this screen. We'll give you a little bit of ASMR. And move on to the beautiful board. Now, quite a few things on this board. Remember what I said, smartphone boards are not my favorite, but I still love them. So what chemicals we need? Where are we at on the likes? If you guys can get me to 197,000 likes, 197,000. I'll go over the process, which is my favorite process, and tell you how to get the gold off any board that's gold plated, including cell phone boards, RAM stick boards, TV boards, and tell you how to turn trash into cash so you guys and gals can do this yourself. Now, while you work on that, we got to get all these screws out. You can see quite a few beautiful screws right here. So I got to get all these screws out to release this board. Now, some of you may be tempted to hit this stuff with a hammer, guys. Don't do it. Take your time, take it apart. And let's see, what do we have here? We got a Torx bit. So let me get this Torx out just like this. And let's see if this works for us. or if it's the wrong. Nope, gotta go a size smaller. One more thing, here we are. So, if you're just dropping in, everyone, welcome in and welcome to the live. Like I said, we urban mining for gold and silver from Everyday Electronics. We got this broke cell phone. We getting the gold, we getting the silver. We turning trash into cash just like this. So I got a couple more screws, and here we are. And then once we get to 197,000 likes, we're going to go over the process. I'm going to tell you how to get the gold off any board that's gold plated, including cell phones, tablets, TVs, any other thing right here. How many phones do I need to scrap to get 6 grams of gold? Listen, I don't just process phones, tablets, TVs, any smart device I'll process and get the gold. So this right here came from the black epoxy chips on the boards. I processed about 6 pounds of these chips and got 6 grams of gold, which is almost $1,000 at today's price. That's the good thing about those chips, everyone. They're in 99% of electronics. They're just so common. That's why they're my second favorite thing to do, because they're common. The first favorite thing, my most favorite thing, is the gold. Is gold on plated boards. Any board that's gold plated. RAM sticks, cell phone boards. Your flat screen TV has gold plated boards on it. So now, let's get this off right here. We got a couple more screws while you guys work to 197,000. Make sure, where we at? So there's 1,200 people in here. There's 2,400 thumbs. Make sure you guys are hitting that like button, hitting that follow button for me. Proverbs in the house with a heart meet. So we almost got this board out. Let's see if we can get this baby loose. Now, there we go. Nope, not quite. We get this thing out of here. Here's the other thing about these smartphones too, man. These things have so many screws. Philip with a heartbeat. So many screws in these smartphones right here, about like a laptop, man. They just have plenty of these things. So let's see, one more thing, couple more screws, and then we get this out of here. There we go. Now, so what are we working with right here? We got quite a few things on here. So remember what I said, everyone. If it looks like gold, yes, it's gold, but it's only gold plated. So all the gold you see with your eyes is gold in electronics, but it's gold plated. But we love this stuff. We put the gold plated pins in the pin pile just like this. All like components go with like components. Pins with pins, chips with chips, boards with boards, oscillators with oscillators, tantalums with tantalums. All like components go with like components. What's up, Miss Gold? Welcome in. Thank you for the heartbeat. Now, I'm done with this right here. We're going to set this baby to the side. And here's the beautiful board. What are we looking like? Man, you guys blew past 197,000 likes. Now, we made a deal. So, how do you get the gold off any board that's gold plated? Remember, this is my favorite thing to do. Favorite thing to do because the chemicals are cheap and you can buy them at the hardware store. So this is how you get the gold off RAM stick boards, cell phone boards, TV boards, and turn trash into cash. So listen up, pay attention, especially you on the toilet. Stop scrolling. Southern Scrapper's about to put you on. Now, the first thing you guys got to do is you got to make AP solution. AP solution is hydrochloric acid and hydrogen peroxide mixed together. Now, that's going to make AP solution. It's going to eat the base of the board, so it eats the base of the board and releases those gold foils. Once those gold foils are released, you want to take those foils and you're going to do aqua reja, which is nitric acid and hydrochloric acid mixed together. Now that's going to dissolve your gold down into a liquid form. And once that gold is dissolved, you're going to denox it and you're going to add SMBs. Sodium metabisulfate is going to drop that gold from a liquid back to a powder form. Then you'll have beautiful 24 karat gold dust. Now, when you have this gold dust, you got to heat it with MAP gas or butane, and it's going to melt this gold dust into a nice and shiny 24 karat gold nugget just like this. So that's exactly how you get the gold off any board that's gold plated, including RAM sticks, cell phone boards, TV boards, and turn trash into cash with chemicals from the hardware store. Now, if you missed that speech or you lost track of what I was saying, you want to turn your own trash into treasure with AP Solution, I got you. Don't worry about it. Hit that follow button, roll over to my page, and check out my pinned video labeled AP Solution. Yes, that's the solution I just told you guys about. In that video, I show you what acids you need, how to mix them, what to mix them in, then how to supercharge it with a little bit of heat to get this gold off quicker so you can turn your own trash into treasure. Just like that, with chemicals from the hardware store. That's my favorite thing to do. Now, I almost got this stuff off, guys. Let me get this shielding off, and then I'm going to show you where the gold is on here. So, what's up, dogs? I appreciate the heartbeat. Thanks for that. Now, we got a few more stuff to get out of here. And like I said, this is a smartphone board. Smartphones do not have, most of the time, as much gold as keypad phones. Keypad phones are my favorite. Philip with a heartbeat. Appreciate that, buddy. So we'll get this off, guys. And after I get this off, we'll go over it. I'll show you where the gold is. We'll talk about how to get the gold out with some of these things, so you guys can see about turning your own trash into cash, recycling your own stuff, getting your own gold. What about gold-plated jewelry? I have not processed no gold-plated jewelry, so I cannot give you no information on that. All I really focus on is electronics, because people throw this stuff away all the time. You can find this stuff in the trash, behind businesses, on the side of the road. Tablets, TVs, I mean, all kind of random electronics, kids' toys, all that stuff's great for gold. Now, look, where are we looking at here? So, first thing I see is this beautiful camera. We're going to pop this camera off just like the... Uh-oh. There we go. Look at that. Beautiful gold on the back. Now, here's the thing special about these cameras. On the base of this and behind the lens will be 24 karat gold bond wires. So we love these things right here. Cameras go in the camera pile. Where else is the beautiful gold at? So let's point this out. One of my second favorite thing to process are these black epoxy chips. 99% of electronics has these chips right here. That's where this 6 grams of gold came from. And like I said, it only cost about $7 in chemicals. So I love processing these chips. Size does not matter. Even the small chips are great. So, and then you have your... no gold band on this one. Then you have beautiful gold-plated pins. If it looks like gold, of course it's gold. So we'll put the pins in the pin pile. Now, I know this don't seem like a lot, but you got gold here. You got gold right here. What's up, Precious Red? Welcome in. Now, it's the same thing. We just talked about how to get the gold off any board that's gold-plated with AP Solution. Cell phone boards, RAM stick boards. If you guys missed that speech on how to get the gold off and turn trash into cash, I got you. Hit that follow button. Roll over to my page. Check out the pinned video labeled AP Solution. In that video, I show you what acids you need, how to mix them, what to mix them in, the whole 9 yards to get the gold off any board that's gold plated, including cell phone TV boards. Precious Red with the heartbeat. Thank you for that. Now, I'm done with this board. We're going to set it to the side, but here's what you do, guys. Pins with pins, boards with boards, chips with chips. That's just the way it's got to be. So, we'll set this to the side. I'll depopulate this. And then the next thing, if you guys can get me to 214,000 likes, I'll go back over the process and tell you guys how to get the gold out these black epoxy chips before I jump off here. I will be jumping off here in a little bit, so now is the time to hit that follow button. Now, if you get me to 214,000, we'll go over this process. I'll tell you how to do it. And it's my second favorite thing to do. I love that stuff. And make sure, guys, don't look over your stuff. Look over before you throw it away. Now, listen, I know this ain't a lot. Some of you is like, man, what is this guy doing? That little bit right there, you see that little, that's a ribbon, gold-plated ribbon with the IC chip. So I'm going to go ahead and take this little ribbon off, and that stuff matters just like this. So, ribbons go to the ribbon piles. I don't have this video yet, but I will be posting a video over how to process these ribbons right here. So make sure you're following to see that. Where do I find the AP Solution? You got to make it. You got to make it. And listen, go check out my page. I got 2 or 3 videos over AP Solution that shows you what acids I use and how I mix them and everything. Go check out my page. Let me throw this stuff to the side. Let's get some. Let's do a. So I got a plain Jane Motorola flip phone. Now, these things are pretty great. You see how old this is? The older, the golder. Michael with the heart me. The older, the golder. The older the device, usually the better the gold is right here. So, what we at? So we got 1,100 people here, 2,200 thumbs. Make sure you guys are hitting that like button. Everything I do here is absolutely free. The only thing I do ask for in return, and listen, I apologize if this is selfish, I do ask for a like and a follow. If y'all can do both of those, that would be amazing. Now, Next Hills have a lot of gold. Yeah, this thing's pretty old. This should be pretty good. Now, once we get to 214,000, guys, I'll go over the process. And user with the heart me, that's what I'm talking about. I'll go over the process and one more time before I jump off and tell you how to get the gold off of, get the gold out of them black epoxy chips that's just so common.